Good morning, I'm Jeff from the Overwatch team. Very excited to be here with an awesome developer update because we are introducing the 30-second hero to Overwatch today on March 32nd. I have this terrible feeling of deja vu. Anyway, today on Developer Update with Jeff, we examined the new hero, Link. He is a brand new character. A lot of you probably haven't heard of him before, but he has a really cool backstory. So we want to talk a little bit about that and introduce you to how Link came to be. So Link was born on a beautiful farm in a village, a small village on a secluded island. As every firstborn in his family, he was supposed to take over the family's farm one day. Now, he loved nature and animals, but he was never happy with the life his family had planned for him. Eventually, he left the village and his family behind and ventured through the lands with his horse opponent in search of himself and his true passions, both of which he had been denied his whole life. During his travels, he uncovered parts of his personality that he was never allowed to live out, and he also discovered a passion for music. One day, he played his beloved ocarina in the forest, and a mysterious old lady called Impact took notice of his beautiful melodies. She invited him to her house nearby in the forest and told him of an old legend. There is a powerful blade of evil Spain, and it is the only weapon capable of breaking the divine seal, protecting the demise that will overcome this world. The blade can only be found and taken by the one playing the melody of courage. Link has always been very interested in old legends, and so he went on many adventures to find the master sword. Eventually, he found it and discovered that he also had a passion for the weight of the sword. As you guys know from last year's developer update, when Ganondorf tried to take the Triforce, it broke into its three pieces. The pieces each shows the being that represented the most. The piece of power shows Ganondorf, and the piece of wisdom shows Lɪṭ. However, they were unaware which hand shows the third piece in their hand, the Triforce of courage, and both of them want to get the other pieces. Lɪṭ on her quest to find the one with the third piece, and Link on his quest to self-discovery. Eventually crossed paths. Her wisdom and magical abilities immediately told her that there is something special about Link. He insisted that he is not that courageous, but eventually Lɪṭ revealed the Triforce of courage on the back of his left hand. She didn't ask him to leave the Triforce piece to her yet because she thought that their pieces were safer apart as long as Ganondorf still has the Triforce of power. Instead, she offered him to join Overwatch. Link was chosen by the Triforce of courage and the Master Sword, which is probably the only weapon that might be able to pierce the Triforce of power's protection. So he could prove very useful in the war against Ganondorf and his
bunch of evil omnics.
Link accepted because he wanted to help saving the world from the upcoming crisis. Well, shortly after the Omnics attacked the main Overwatch facility and the second Omnic crisis begins. So things are getting really serious now, but even with his little experience, he is improving quickly and a super valuable part of Overwatch. Now, a lot of you are wondering about the gameplay of Link, and it's probably the thing that I am the most excited about. First off, he's a damage, and we really need another damage character in Overwatch. Not only is he a damage, but he's what we call a melee damage. So you know Reinhardt currently uses a hammer. There's Doomfist, and Genji even has a sword, but Link is a proper melee damage. His main weapon of attack is the Master Sword. Now, he has a defensive ability as his primary ability, the high and shield. And when he uses it, he puts out the shield in front of himself and he blocks all of the incoming damage that is coming from the front, but only for a very short duration. The cooldown is very short as well. So this ability is intended to reactively and skillfully block single enemy attacks. He also has a fun roll movement ability. It has a short cooldown, so he can use it frequently to move around and to avoid getting hit in the first place. Also, unlike McCree, Link can change the direction. He's rolling in, but his roll is a little bit slower, and he can't roll backward. His ability is the jump attack, Link leaps forward and hits the enemy with his sword as he lands. And it causes not only tremendous damage, but it will stun that enemy, because we from the Overwatch team felt like we need more stuns. Now, don't freak out. We made it fair and balanced by making it predictable. It is counterable in the sense that you can move out of the way. When he uses this ability on an enemy lying on the ground, he will stab them instead and kill them outright. Now, the thing you're probably wondering and caring the most about is, what is Link's ultimate ability? He has one of the funnest ones in the game. First, he takes out his ocarina and plays her opponent's song to call her and to let everybody on the whole map know his location. Then she appears and Link rides her and can swing his sword from her back. He can run people over and hit them with his sword, and they will be pushed forward along with him, so he can hit them multiple times. Inside of the Master Sword lives a spirit called Fight, and whenever Link is at low health, Fight will help him and fire a sword beam that is a sword-shaped projectile with every sword swing. Now he has some other really cool abilities he can do as well, called hidden skills. He can charge up a spin attack by holding the crouch button and then pressing primary fire, doing a lot of devastating damage to enemies in a big radius. If he jumps forward on an enemy and presses primary fire, he will perform the helm splitter, which makes him jump over the enemy while hitting them from above, dealing additional damage to armor. Rolling sideways around an enemy and pressing primary fire lets him use a minimum charge spin attack behind them, also known as the back slice. And lastly, pressing primary fire at the end of a forward roll lets Link perform a stab while getting up. This is very useful to chase after low health enemies or to engage in a fight. Now, the intention for Link is for him to be a very fun, dynamic, high mobility melee damage, and we think he's a ton of fun to play. For our highly skilled players, you're gonna find a lot of nuance and fun in mastering his sword techniques. He can use the roll, helm splitter, and back slice to confuse the enemy between hits and to avoid getting hit, in addition to blocking with his shield. And for this reason, we rated his star difficulty as 3 stars. So, one of the hardest type heroes to play. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the main Overwatch facility is under attack, and Link's first Overwatch mission is to escort some very important stuff to hide it safely in Hyrule Castle. So for this year's Archives event, there will be a new mission featuring, yes, you guessed it, Link, along with Anna, Farah, and Orisa on their way to Hyrule Castle. After the event, we will add Hyrule Castle to the quick play rotation and to the competitive rotation as a payload or escort map. We know that you'd be very upset if there was another escort map and not just new assault maps, which some of you refer to as 2CP. We also know how much you like our Horizon Lunar Colony map, but we think that's very good. We also want you to know that we care about feedback and we take it really seriously. Now, you might have been wondering why the Archives event started a month early this year and why there was no new mission. Well, with many people quarantined, we released the event early, so you could have fun playing the old missions and unlocking things while we were still working on the new hero map and mission. They will be going live right now to avoid those really frustrating PTR feedback comments. Now, I know that there's some of you are thinking, but Jeff, you just said you care about feedback and take it really seriously. I was totally kidding, by the way. I'll leave it up to you which one I'm talking about. but Link from Skyward Sword will be on the experimental card soon, along with radical gameplay changes like movement acceleration and fall damage. This special archives event is going to run for 4 more weeks this time. Now, we know how much you all love May. We don't believe that she needs buffs. Actually, she might get some changes to make her weaker. I'm going to be vague about some of this because I can't reveal everything that we're working on, but her primary fire will be replaced. Now, I'm quarantined as well. I'm not actually in the usual developer update room. I'm at home in front of a blue screen because Windows 10 sucks. Forgive the bad quality. I don't know how to record and edit properly, but I can't send the recording to our video editor because the ancient telephone cables are overwhelmed with everybody suddenly using them for these new so-called interwebs. My beloved wife, called Petra. Petra is beautiful, is sending a telegram to complain to our provider right now. We hope you guys stay healthy and enjoy the new content as much as we do. I'll move to a deserted island with cute animals. Now, to get away from this mess, I'm talking about the Overwatch team, by the way. And finally finish Breath of the Wild and play a proper shooter like Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Take care.